Hey guys, Jason Nation here. Welcome back to the channel, where today I will be going over a deck guide for Go Hard Ahri Kennen. This is the Ionian Allegiance deck that has been sort of behind the scenes for the most part of it. It's a very strong deck that honestly doesn't see that much play, and it is a little bit tricky in the way it wants to play now that the patch has happened. Wayfinder's a little bit weaker, Kennen's a little bit weaker, and it doesn't really play the same way as Kennen Ezreal or any other Kennen Allegiance deck did in the past. So I want to break it down for you guys and show you guys what this deck's all about. So without further ado, let's jump into the guide. So starting with the deck list, this is a card for card take from What Am I? So very prominent player and community tournament person. He is doing very well with this deck. He hit rank 1 with this deck a little while ago, and this is pretty much his exact list that he played. So this is an Ionian Allegiance deck with our 3 splashes being Go Hard, and the rest of the package is very centered around the general Ahri recall kind of strategy. You'll notice a lot of cards such as Navori Conspirator, Recall, Retreat, Homecoming, to synergize well with Ahri, to balance your cards, to level up Ahri, and get things rolling. On our top end, we also have 2 copies of both Scatterpod and Zilean Thousand-Tailed Fox. These will help us draw into our spells and provide us with a little bit more draw in order to get to the Go Hards, and we can cycle to Packer Bags relatively quickly around like turns 7 to 8 to 9. The rest of the deck is just a bunch of good Ionian cards, such as Shadow Assassin being just a good draw card, especially to synergize well with Retreat Return, Twin Disciplines for damage or protection, and then we have Concussive Palm and Deny, as well as Kinku Wayfinder. Again, just a very general Allegiance deck that focuses around this Ahri sort of package, with a little bit of top-end draw in order to synergize with our Go Hards. So to break down the deck, especially because now we're playing around with Ahri and we have a little bit of a weaker sort of Kennen game plan, because now that the Kinku Wayfinder has been nerfed, the deck is playing a little bit differently, and I think that people need to get sort of accustomed to it. Now the deck no longer has that burn option with Ezreal. This is now an elusive beatdown deck. We have a lot of elusives such as Dancing Droplet, Navori Conspirator, and Shadow Assassin, as well as leveled up Ahri to just slowly get chip damage down to our opponent, and then we have a level up Ahri to really just help close out the game. So the main goal of this deck is to act as an elusive beatdown deck. We do have Go Hard to get Packer Bags for an additional couple of points of damage, but the main focus of this is to get chip damage early in with our elusives, and then hope to end games with Ahri. And this is where a card like Zilean Thousand-Tailed really comes into handy. Just being able to buff up your board by +1/+1 can contribute to not only your elusive board sticking, being able to connect for an extra turn, but also just to get that additional damage through, so maybe this deals 3 extra damage on a turn. And of course, we have Retreat, Homecoming as sort of synergistic cards with Ahri, and as a draw engine with Dancing Droplet, or to protect our important elusives, replay them for value such as Shadow Assassin, and so forth. I think one of the most difficult aspects about this deck is knowing when to fight for your recalls. You need to really engage smartly and know what units you want to recall. And so it's quite difficult because your opponent can have multiple pings, multiple ways to stop your recalls, and you might only have 1 or 2 recalls and maybe like a Twin Disciplines. Or you maybe might have like 3 units you want to save that get like TF red carded, and you have to know which units you need to save and how to prioritize them. So on the first point, you really want to be using your recalls only when it's safe to do. You want to be very reactive if you can, and play around your removal or your opponent's removal. So you also need to know when to not go for the recalls, because if your opponent can play 2 spells and you only have 1 recall, then you're losing that recall and you're losing the unit as well. So knowing when to fight your battles safely, only recall units when it's safe to do so, or if you have the spell mana up to protect. And this is where a card like Twin Disciplines is super powerful. Being able to twin a unit that gets like pokey-sticked after you put a recall onto it can be very powerful, because right now most decks only run pings, and Twin Disciplines will pretty much guarantee your unit to survive on a recall, thus essentially nullifying your opponent's actions. So Twin Disciplines can be a very good defensive card, even though it can be very powerful with a leveled up Ahri after you have an elusive board. Twin Disciplines is mostly a very strong defensive card that can be used to safely help recall your units. The second point here is prioritizing the right unit, and I think Droplet is the #1 card in your deck that you need to protect. Now you can have multiple copies of Droplet, either have more in your hand or getting them off of Kinko Wayfinder, and so maybe you don't need to protect the first one, but depending on what your hand state is, what your board looks like, if you need Droplet to survive, you cannot just play out Droplet and let it die. Because Droplet is key to your card draw engine, it really empowers a lot of your deck. A lot of your recalls are dead if you're not recalling pretty much exactly Droplet or maybe like a Shadow Assassin. I know a lot of you will try to save Kennen because he looks like he's a champion, he's the strong card and can stall the game, but Kennen's much weaker in this version than pre-patch. Not only is it hard to level up Kennen, it's much harder to get multiple Kennens onto the board. Now, because once you play a Wayfinder, you can only get one Kennen onto the board, Kennen's a lot weaker because you can get a lot fewer of them onto the board as well. So it's going to be slower to level up Kennen, and once you recall Kennen, you have to play out the champ spell, and that's going to provide issues with your mana usage, and then you have to replay like Kinko Wayfinder again, and that can be a lot slower. Especially without God Willow in this deck, Kennen is just a lot weaker within this sort of archetype, and its prioritization is probably overvalued, whereas Droplet is probably your #1 card you need to keep alive. So let's talk a little bit about the mulligan. I think, again, with so much emphasis around Droplet, Droplet is probably an always keep within this deck. Same with Ahri. Ahri Droplet is a very, very good combo in order to get the draw cycle going on. And then Kinko Wayfinder, again, because it allows us to tutor Droplet from the deck. These cards are really core to your strategy because they revolve around getting the Droplet down, giving you the recalls, and the card draw value off of that. Some cards that are more situational to keep are Go Hard against an aggro deck or maybe a deck that has a lot of pressure and has 1 health units. Go Hard can be a situational keep. Just know that if you play Go Hard before you play Kinko Wayfinder, your chances of hitting Allegiance do diminish because you are shuffling 2 copies of Go Hard for every time you play it into your deck, and so you're slowly thinning out your Allegiance options, or Allegiance chances. Navori Conspirator is an interesting keep, but because this card can sometimes brick out in your hand if you don't have particularly dancing Droplet to recall, this is only really a situational keep if you can curve Droplet into Conspirator on turns 1 and 2. Same for Concussive Palm. In some matchups, Concussive Palm can just be very, very powerful, especially into some of the more mid-range decks like Pantheon. Being able to Concussive Palm, recall the tail, and then use it again can just help you stall out the game until you have cards like Homecoming or even more Concussive Palms just further slow down the game plan. And of course, I meant to extend Navori Conspirator to other recall cards as well, so keeping recall, keeping retreat. Without Droplet, I don't think these cards are good, and even with Droplet, then there's sometimes a little bit lackluster, but it's definitely a very, very complicated mulligan decision. But if you don't say Droplet, you're not keeping any retreat cards. It's probably that simple. As for bait keeps, this one's a little bit controversial and I'm ultimately not sure if I'm correct. I think Shadow Assassin is not a card you can keep in your mulligan for 2 reasons. This deck sometimes does not really have a good early game. Without Droplet, you might not, or without Droplet or Ahri, sometimes you don't have a play until turn 3 or 4. And in that situation, Shadow Assassin is a turn 3 play, which can, at least give you something to do instead of passing on turn 3 with 6 mana up. The issue with this is, I think it's just not a good enough card to keep in your hand. I think you want to find either Droplet or Ahri, or even look harder for like Kinko Wayfinder. But I guess that doesn't really matter because it curves 3 into 4. I would probably myself personally look harder for Dancing Droplet and Ahri, because if your plan is to double pass into Shadow Assassin, that can often just be too slow and tempo wise, and you might just lose out on board. We have to realize that this deck does not have very high tempo until we play Kinko Wayfinder, and only passing on 1-2 into a Shadow Assassin that could get pinged can be quite devastating and not usually good enough for our hand. So we want to find Droplet and maybe some recalls to do some ghost blocks and really just try to draw and stabilize the board. And then the cards that usually aren't good enough to keep, these are probably going to be a little bit obvious. You don't want to keep your 6 drops. You probably don't want to keep Homecoming for the same reasons. That recalls just don't have enough value until you're recalling exactly Droplet. And the main considerations, again, are just finding your key cards. Like, they're very, very focused on Droplet and Ahri. Anything else is sort of a situational keep after that point. So let's talk about a little bit of matchups. Where this deck does really well into is the Pantheon and Zoe Lee decks. With a lot of stuns and recalls, it's very hard for the Pantheon deck to really meaningfully get any sort of board presence alive because they rely on going tall on their units. Being able to homecoming like a buffed up White Flame can just really stall out their game plan. A little bit of a similar position for Zoe Lee. We have an elusive game plan that they have a hard time interacting with, and we can recall Lee Sin, or we can just recall our own unit that Lee Sin's trying to kick and save ourselves a lot of health. Now with this now where this deck does struggle a little bit more into is the decks that have very high sort of wide board sweeper removal. So Thralls, not only is Thralls a bad matchup because they don't really need to interact with our like really cheap wide boards because they have avalanches and blighted ravines. Being able to handle such an impact like burst thrall on like turn 5-7, especially if they get more like 3-4 out, is very difficult, and it's hard to really interact with their game plan outside of potentially homecoming their frozen thralls. If you can get like a 6th homecoming and they don't play around it, then maybe you can slow down the game to a point where you can just stabilize and just find your lethal win cons. But outside of that, you have to play very heavily around avalanche, blighted ravine, and ice shard, and sometimes that can be very tough if you aren't very well versed with the deck. The other one is Bandle Tree. We are like an elusive beatdown combo deck, but our time to kill can be quite slow, especially if we're not able to level up Ahri really quickly. This deck doesn't particularly do well into the mini morph, and they also have the pings, they have the buster shots, things like that. So trying to race down Bandle Tree can be very difficult. Another matchup that is rising in popularity these days is the Shellfolk matchups. I think into any Shellfolk, Ahri Kennen just does not as great, particularly because most Shellfolk decks right now do run a plethora of pings. So that'd be Pokestick group shots or like the Mystic shots, some fumes like the PNC version. They just outvalue you, outgrind you, and you have a hard time really sticking your board, especially if you lose some of your key units early on because you might think you're safe doing a recall, but then suddenly they have 3 cards to interact with you. So there's some tough matchups out there, but there's some good matchups as well. I think this deck does perform really well in the hands of a really good player, but this deck is going to be pretty hard to learn and master. So for those of you who want to see some games, I think that these will be very valuable just to show out how this deck plays out, how this deck cycles through the go hards, and when you can actually get to them, how to stall the games, when to play out your cards so that they're safe in order to recall them and have protection for them. I think these games will give you a good basis of understanding towards the deck. So I got 4 games for you guys. One against the Kennen Ahri. This is a Shrima deck. So slight mirror, but we run slightly different cards into Plunder, into Shellfolk, and Zilean Ekko. So that concludes the deck guide portion. I hope you guys stick around for the games. If you did enjoy the content, I appreciate it. Give a like, subscribe. We're slowly inching towards that 1,000 for monetization. So if you guys can make that happen, I would be a very happy bunny. Without further ado, I'll leave you guys with games. Have fun and peace out. Okay. Shrima mirror. I know for like meta stats, this should be favored for us, but when it's down to the mirror, it just really comes down to draws more than anything. It's kind of annoying. Like putting the mark on this is kind of pointless, just because once it recalls, it's gonna lose it. Take 2. I could even like recall this and then try to kill it. I think that's probably not good though. I don't have any of my go hards in my hand, and that's gonna slow me down a little bit. I don't have Ahri either, and that's also not great.
Have I mastered the clone technique too well? Probably. Hide for a moment, run forever.
I can like retreat, return, and then have the ability to kill the Murned. Oh, that's such a weird play. I just have to do something this turn. If I had anything else to return, I'd feel a lot better. But I don't.
The Tempest gathers.
Oh, this is such a weird play. Feels like a Notify kind of cry. This is so susceptible to like a Notify, it kind of hurts. He could also like return this right now. That's just such a weird game state. If I just go hards, man. Go hards would be pretty good here. Such a weird play. Doesn't solve the issue that Kennen's still marked, but alrighty. That was our entire turn. Oh, what such a convoluted turn just to do that. Yep. Not gonna lie, I kind of miss Wayfinder pulling 2 cannons, because right now just like pulling 1 cannon at this game state is kind of just not great. Oh well. We're not in a bad spot either. Us having Wayfinder is good. Droplet's a really good pull too.
Extra hands never hurt.
Would've been bad to miss Allegiance there.
Everyone here? Let's go.
That's kind of an issue. I've kind of lost my ability to attack right now. And he can kill my cannon. I can recall it, so it's not like the worst case. Becomes a lightning rush. Kennen Ahri, Resident Sleeper. I think it's a pretty fun deck. It might not be like the most entertaining to watch, I suppose. I'll try to make it entertaining. His mark's a lot more valuable to him, but it doesn't really change what I do. He's on 3 Mourned. Marking the Mourn doesn't do anything because he's just gonna attack. Question is, do I want to recall Kennen? I'm not sure I want to. I think I need recalls for droplets or in a more defensive position. I'm not sure using it there is very beneficial for us. Came for Yasa Leona? We could play some Yasa Leona too. I just need a little bit of practice on this deck first, just because I'm gonna be playing it later for just like a league tournament thing. Our hand is kind of dead here, huh? It's the deck that I'm least comfortable with out of the 3 decks that I'm playing for my lineup, so I just need a little bit more practice on it, just to really iron out the details. Okay. Taking a little bit of damage here. Really? I'm pretty sure there's one more droplet in my deck. I could be wrong. And that would be kind of embarrassing to be wrong. Okay, perfect. How do we get this 5th Kennen though? We'd have to recall Kennen, play Lightning Rush, then replay Kennen. It's so much harder to level up Kennen with purely Kennen now that we've cut out Godwill and a lot of other cards. It's like no more Godwillow, no more double pool from Allegiance. Makes leveling Kennen from Kennen just a lot more difficult. Really good draw. What if we just level Kennen? So these are my last two Kennens. I recall Kennen, play Lightning Rush, replay Kennen, but I'd have to Lightning Rush Kennen. Oh, that's so awful. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close there with Dancing Droplets as well. Hopefully it's at least 3 or 4. So I had a third one there. I played it twice. I played it thrice. It should be 4 as well. Can't level this turn, unfortunately. Passing equal mana is fine. So this should make 5, and his is 3 on Mourned. So we're technically ahead. We have very reactive plays to stop his Absolver plays. So Mikhail, what's up? Welcome, welcome.
Get the drop on him. I'll take care of this.
Don't want any trouble.
I can't lose all my droplets though. Just resting, nice. I woke up from like a nap like 2 hours ago. I'm glad I woke up, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't be streaming right now. That'd be kind of embarrassing. But feeling more rested, I'm ready to play some Runeterra. Level up Kennen, level up Kennen. Nice, counted correctly. Okay, we're in a pretty good spot. We have Kennen leveled, we have Ahri and stuff. You should be streaming sleeping? I think all of you guys are just like really on some really good ideas right now. Like, we should first be streaming and now we should be streaming our sleep. Yo, Tempo! Yo, dude. Thank you guys so much for the raid. What's up, what's up? How y'all doing? I just want to win this turn. Can I win this turn? Not quite. Thanks so much, man. Thank you everybody tuning in to the stream. Hope you guys are having a good time. Hope your Mondays are great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man.
You call that sneaky?
That raid fail? Wait, what happened? Oh, did you raid the wrong person? Question mark. Who do I want to kill here? I can just snipe Kennen here. Mess up the emote? Oh, I see. Thanks, Tempo. Really appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope your stream went well. Can I just kill him this turn? I just deny this. So this deals... And then this is lethal? What about just like pushing lethal, guys? Is that the play? Hey, Grisham, you're doing good. Yep, thank you, thank you. Wait. No, this is lethal. Yeah, always the play? Yeah, yeah. This is ladder. We're not playing around with things. We just go for wins. Just get that W, you know? So the only thing that stops us is like a second palm. Even if it's like homecoming, you can just homecoming his homecoming. So it's either just palm or deny at this point. Ah, homecoming me. Homecoming me. Ah, you gotcha, buddy. Let's go. Hope you can teach some ins and outs. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be playing this deck for. I want to play some Yasuo Leona a little bit. We'll play a couple more games of this, I guess. It means you already for a 24-hour stream. Oh god. I don't want to commit to anything like that, or like, you know, like Ruben Pants. We can do that as well. I just need a bit of practice on this deck first, just because I'm gonna be eventually forced to play it later. Do you have like a deck list? That'd be mad convenient if you do. I don't hate the idea of doing a 24-hour stream. I have some like I have some concepts of what I could do during then, which might be exciting. But it is a big commitment, 24 straight hours. Do I play this and do I block? No and no. And then if I play it, it just gets like make it rain. I've seen Seth Sej as I have not. I have seen a picture of him playing it, but outside of that, nothing about it. What's up, Cider Mansion? Hiding.
I go where the winds blow. For now.
Is it good? Does it run Spoils of War? Okay.
The forest surrounds us.
I'm not right now trying to get diamond. No Spoils of War. Sad. This is really awkward. That's a good draw. So like we're forced to block here and then we'll have to like twin this for like an eventual make it rain or something. It's kind of awkward. Okay, we get an open attack, at least, or try to. Ideally top deck into like a recall or something here. If he goes for like a parlay, that's best case scenario, and then we can twin, hoping he doesn't have like make it rain. I think we'll even deny this make it rain if he has it. That's a beautiful top deck.
2 steps into moonlight.
Thanks, Atlas. This deck list is a little bit old, so I'm not even sure 3 denies is correct. But this is a deck that I've locked in for last week, so gotta run with it, I suppose. Aw, boohoo. This is so weird. You don't want to be shuffling this crap in your deck. Excuse me. How you guys doing tonight? No Wayfinder. Feels like a no 5 meta to me right now. Yeah. I would definitely go lower on denies. But when this deck was created, it was more of a deny meta. But the list is the list, and I have to stick to it, unfortunately.
Studied every fighting manual.
There's plenty of killing.
How's it going? Hey Falkers, what's up? A little bit getting over the nap phase. Just woke up like over an hour ago and made dinner really quickly. It's not bad. So let's like play Gangplank, I can palm it.
I'm not greedy. My friends
I should probably still play palm here. How you guys doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's gonna be a chill stream. I don't really have much plans. Maybe we'll go back to some Yasuo Leona. Just stick around after we get in a little bit of practice. I really don't have any plans for tonight. So we'll just see where the wind takes us. God, that's so edgy. What? It's almost bedtime in the UK, 1 AM. No attack. So interesting. I want to recycle all of these, so I can recycle this to kill this, which I will end up doing. I need card draw, so I'll probably like play this and do other things. First priority, let's capitalize on this mark to kill this.
looking for a daring escape.
Pies Darius Panth. Darius Panth. Man, he actually just put Darius in a deck, huh? Harpoon.
I possess the secrets of King Ku.
I'm gonna have to attack and recall this, but that's like fine. Ideally, I can recall this droplet somehow. I even could. I assume he tries to harpoon Ahri, which I'd probably have to let it go. Actually, that's not necessarily true. Hopefully harpoons now if he has it, because I do need to pick up this tail back. It's kind of important, actually.
The forest surrounds us.
What's that you got there?
Oh, harpoon. So does harpoon. What do we do if it's a harpoon? I think we have to pick up this tail, funnily enough. Like, saving Ahri just does nothing for us. And if he has Gangplank, we actually just lose. So he has Gangplank, Palm does nothing. Oh, that's a toughie. I played Kennen twice, huh?
Can you hear your heartbeat?
This Gangplank, I think I lose here. This game just went a little bit too slow. Just really couldn't do much. I don't think saving Ahri here is correct. Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate spot.
That's it.
Because you guys Gangplank, we just kind of cry.
Reborn of
Because now our whole board dies.
neither the flames nor the depths can claim me, Captain.
I can like pick this up for one more cycle. I have no way of killing GP unless it's like a homecoming. Either way, he still gets his ability off, which is no bueno. I hate Gangplank decks. They are very powerful. Can't really afford to play this out and just let it die. GP's a dilf? What? I mean, he can't develop, so he's like pretty much forced to open attack, right? Like, he's pretty much forced to open attack here, because he develops to just like palm him. He can't really risk that. I could also deny Gangplank's ability. Doesn't really do me much, just because these guys still kind of die to chump block.
Let me see your technique.
So I'm trying to kill him with elusives, right? I'm gonna have 1. I'm gonna have 3. I'm gonna have 5. Not quite enough. The Gangplank deck and champions that give you Frostbite all time is so strong. Yeah, this deck is pretty strong. But I also drew not that great. So if I drew a little bit better, then you know, the outcome might have been different.
Time for a leap of faith.
Oh, wait, that's insane. Oh, but ooh, it's not leveled, it's one off leveled. That's still insane. Wow, 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 what a top deck. I have to play it now, though, unfortunately.
The forest and
So if he has like another harpoon, we kind of cry. Beautiful.
Explosives.
Hoko. We're so close. I think we can win if we draw a twin here, right? So if we draw a twin here, don't we just win?
as it rules you.
That's not a twin. Ooh, we level up Kennen, okay. Huh. This game got a little bit more interesting. If you're trying to get by with Yasuo and Leona deck as you only started playing LOR 3 weeks ago, I commend you for picking up Yasuo Leona as your first deck. That's oh, we can deny Gangplank, so we're not actually dying here, which is very good news. I commend you for picking up Yasuo Leona as one of your first decks. Not only to choose to handicap yourself, but oh, maybe that's a little too far. I need to keep you on the field, so I can only do something like this. I can even challenge this here just to get an extra mark, although that's not particularly important. I'd rather just threaten damage instead.
Not today.
You poor thing.
Like if I had a twin here, I almost won this game. Love the stun and slash chemistry. Yeah, it's super fun. Only managed to get silver 2 though so far. I think the deck will need some changes this season. I haven't gone around to make them yet, but it will require some changes. And maybe we can do a little bit of that this stream as well. So we're putting 4 cards or 3 cards into our hand. We can kill Gangplank here, right? Wait, we can kill Gangplank. Wow, that's insane. That's actually insane. Do you think as Kennen is completely dead now? I think it's going to be the weakest version of Kennen. It doesn't make it dead because I think any Kennen Allegiance deck is going to be super skill intensive and still relatively strong. It's just if you choose to play as Kennen, you're just playing like a slightly what I think would be a slightly, is that even true? I think it might be slightly weaker to play as Kennen.
Find me.
Now we're in a good spot. We can deny Gangplank's skill. We're actually winning here, potentially.
Every fighting manual.
Explosives.
Oh my god, did you have you been like creating decks one for one? Oh my god. I'll show you how to import a deck. You've actually like been recreating decks like manually yourself? Deny. Alright, I think we're winning here. We can deny Gangplank's ability.
Their bones will splinter.
The issue is this still represents 2 damage. We're so close to just winning.
Explosives.
You're super beginner? Nah, don't apologize. There's no need to apologize. Ah, we're probably dead though. So we had a warning shot. That's kind of unfortunate.
Hello, my prey.
So we always died a warning shot, so we just can't play around it.
Can you hear your heart? You have much to learn.
Wow, if he didn't deny the, well, not only if he didn't deny the speed dead, but I'd have 1 extra heal. And that heal would actually matter here, unfortunately. So now we just need to survive.
Don't squander life's gifts.
I think the safest would be Palm, but I kind of ran out of time. Imagine if he didn't yoink your Go Hard. Him taking my Go Hard and casting was actively bad for him. There's no real reason. Like, that was a dead card in his hand. Like, the moment, if he drew a second one, it's just completely dead, right? I think if I were him in that position... Make it rain. Make it rain would suck too. Because I think in his position, if I nab Go Hard, I would just never play it.
That stills your mind.
This was potentially dangerous. Like, the safest was the Palm, but I just ran out of time. And I'm kind of messed up. Even if it's Harpoon, I really cry. Yeah, I definitely messed this up. I should have just palmed. I always lose a warning shot regardless, so it doesn't really matter if he has that. But oh yeah, I fucked up. Wait, I'm still alive. What? I just lose Ahri? Oops.
Tempest gathers.
Wait, what?
It's still gathering.
What do you shoot? Wait, why am I still at 1? Was I not at 1 if this went through? What? Wait, why am I at 1? This is a bug, right? I shouldn't be at 1. Harpoon uses the keg? Oh, wait. What? Why would he do that? It's the same outcome then. Kind of bizarre. I see. Yeah, thanks. I'm a little bit brain dead. Alright, have warning shot. Alright, you don't have warning shot. I probably don't care about what this card is unless it's like I don't even care if it's like concussive palms. Like any recall doesn't do it. Oh, he could bounce his Yordle Grifter, huh? But he can't play this turn, and then we just go in for twin. Nice. I mean, there are punishments for developing. Like, you could play Yordle Grifter. It's pretty much the only punishment, except for like another draw card. I think the safe play is just open attack with a homecoming and or with a twin, and just pray he doesn't have any more interaction. We can also just do some like really quick statistical stuff. I get punished by exactly Make Your Rain or third Harpoon, whereas he could draw into second, third Yordle Grifter, or second, third Croaker. So statistically, I think I should just take this attack.
I know a way. One good turn, eh, friendo?
Oh, this beats Make It Rain, unless he hits both of these. Nice. Just got there. Is this just like Glorious Evolution? No, this isn't Glorious Evolution, right? This is just Shellfolk without it. This matchup's gonna be really tough. Why is the Spider deck taking off again? I think it's just good, sort of. Fearsomes are good right now. Burn's pretty good, especially when a lot of decks just don't have a lot of healing right now.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
Just like Burn is like actually good when not a lot of decks have healing. Fearsomes are good. Aggro is just probably in a fine spot, realistically. It's kind of strange no one's really playing aggro. I guess people just really like their poppy decks. What?
I am lightning.
Had a couple glasses of wine. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, parlay would just go face. I'm gonna take this game a lot differently. I'm gonna be playing super reactive if I can. Because I know there's gonna be a slew of pokey sticks and mystic shots and whatnot. I think at 5 man I can go to 3. Sorry, excuse me.
Everyone here? Let's go.
I also give him a few targets that I don't particularly care about. So if he kills one cannon, I don't really care. He'll find later on that this doesn't actually work, which is kind of funny. It just means that I can't attack with it. That's whatever. But recalling this still gives you a card draw.
Sorry.
Oh dear.
This kind of deck really like reminds me of like the Draven Ezreal versus Azir-Relia matchup a couple seasons ago. When you see me like not committing resources to save that cannon, even though I could, that cannon was definitely alive. It was just like a question of whether or not I want to use it there. I think the answer is no. Because a cannon at this point isn't a very high priority target. I need to protect my droplets to cycle through my deck right now. Everything else is sort of like irrelevant. But I think another important thing is knowing when to fight for stack. Like here is like completely safe recall or something. Twin is also perfectly acceptable. I probably don't want to lose this cannon. The issue with recall is I'd much rather recall droplet. The issue with twin is that twin can get better. Recalling cannon does give me another mark. I don't have a play next turn. That's a little bit scary. Wait, why'd I keep deny? I even told myself this wasn't
This is a virtue.
Glorious Evolution. I kept it anyway. It's kind of silly. I need to save this for card draw, I think. The question is, do I need to save cannon? I don't even know if I need to save cannon. That's a tough one. I think using twin here to save cannon is just too inefficient, so I have to save it for my fights later. It's a pretty good card. I don't really want to like homecoming this back into that, unfortunately. If he passes this and I can play Seinen, and at least these get saved. Ooh, okay, that's a free homecoming. I could like wait until he attacks, but he would just pass. So let's just take this chance to cast a free homecoming. This would be better with like Shellfolk, unfortunately, but this turn I just don't have a play. We're still losing a Shellfolk, unless we find Ahri very soon. Two out of 6. The good news is he probably can't. So the good news is, and was, he probably couldn't play like Vi here. I am scared of Shellfolk, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer him to trade here and I'll just twin into it. The earlier I can play off these twins, that means the less chance he can steal them with Shellfolk. So I can get the okay trade here. He's at 14, not a bad effort at all. I have double recall for Ahri. The issue is again Shellfolk. I don't really care if he steals my denies, I guess. Oh wow. That's really good for us if he just wants to say he doesn't have Shellfolk. Again, it's in kind of awkward-ish situation where if we play Ahri, he's gonna hook it. So I think I can like freely palm here. Again, I need to save these. Like, if I play Ahri, he's gonna challenge Ahri. If I pass, he might not If I pass, he might just pass back. And that's a really awkward situation. I mean, we just out-tempo him here, right? Like, what does he do? I'm even gonna play Ahri then. Like, we're just gonna try to kill him. Actually, that's not really possible. I'm just gonna go for a wide board attack. Just apply a lot of pressure onto him. His deck doesn't have healing. Is he dead? Not quite. Seven, huh? I gave him some like pretty good trades that I'm not completely happy about. I can't play Homecoming at this point. I could save this to get myself Kennen, which isn't bad. I don't know if I want to save it. I might even recall the Fox. I pushed 3 less damage this turn, but I think that's okay. And then even if you play Shellfolk, I do have a potential Homecoming target.
A misstep.
3, 6, 9. These droplets have dealt like 5 damage each. Kind of crazy. Yeah, he just doesn't have Shellfolk. It hits for him. Wow, that's kind of insane. That was like a really good hit for him. Scatterpod's elusive next turn. It's kind of neat. Scatterpod is going to kind of bully him. He's going to have like a potential mini morph on it. The hope is we can somehow bait the mini morph onto the Ahri. I think this is a pretty easy fight. In this turn I will try to fight for this, I think. Because him having to deal 3, I guess he could just simply Sun Fumes it. Maybe that was incorrect. I still need to progress this Ahri level up, which needs 2 more targets. So like this Homecoming would just help my Ahri. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. 3, oh, this is perfect as well. 3, 6, 9, 10. I have everything I need in my hand, right? I don't know if overdraw could matter. Okay, that changes things. That indeed changes things.
Wild hearts should run free.
Okay. Without pranks, I'm not very scared of anything he could really do here. I just can't really play anything into this Poison Dart, which does suck. Like, I could play this just to bait out the Poison Dart. Two Serpents. I could Homecoming this turn. So like Poison Darts, I Homecoming this way, flip Ahri, and then we're kind of in business. Because him having to replay Shellfolk is such a big man investment. It's only... Is my hand full?
I am a hunter. I
Ooh.
am Astaya.
Such a complicated matchup. 3, 6, 9, perfect. So like he most likely needs to be able to mini morph my Ahri. And then he can't play Shellfolk. And I'll try to get in with as much elusive here as I can. This is also an elusive. I was really hoping I could Navori Conspirator that, given the opportunity.
The order rewards its
Okay.
faithful.
I think Sure, buddy. I haven't cast a single go hard. A little bit bothersome. I don't have the allegiance guy. I'm not sure if I'm able to pack this game. You can't kill me with Ezreal from 19 quite yet. I can simply Palm Vi. It's not really an issue.
Can you hear your heartbeat? I can.
Check out Ruben's deck. Yeah, I took a quick peek, but we're still gonna give this game or this deck a couple more games. Like pass. Is that crazy? It's probably crazy.
Silent as death.
Okay. Okay. I'm really sad that Droplet had to die, but
They cannot hide.
eh.
Night falls.
3, 6, 7. Okay. Don't really care about this. I have a second Ahri. Very expensive turn for him. He's running out of cards. Even if he has Ezreal, it doesn't really do much for him. Leveled Vi doesn't really matter. I have like a concussive palm. And I'm slowly going to chip him. Next turn, I'm just going to try to set up a elusive board and play like Saiyan. I'll finally get used to these conspirators. Retreat's excellent card. There is Ezreal. I'm gonna play a second elusive here, just so we can contest the Ezreal.
Order rewards its fate.
Deny again. Quite expensive.
Hit 'em where it hurts.
Oh, right, he has 2. I could like try to palm Ezreal. I'm not sure if that's worth. No Shellfolk on board, nice. So that's the reason why he bounced Shellfolk earlier, right? Letting Ezreal hits 5 damage. With 3 denies, I think it's hard to be like unsafe. So he's burning his mana this turn. We can safely drop Ahri, and I'm feeling pretty okay right now. I'm even tempted to play this Palm. I just don't have an elusive board wide enough right now. What am I doing with this turn? I'm just going to play double Conspirator and Ahri again. I think that's fine. Okay, we'll just go wide this turn with the board. So I'm going to play Ahri here, and I'm going to bait him into Mystic Shotting it, and then I just simply recall it.
Captivating.
Pog.
Stay safe. I'll take it from here.
Oh, it doesn't discount itself. Oops. Thought it would. Slightly unfortunate. Oh, but he has an Ezreal. Totally forgot about that. Elusives, man. What the fuck is that? Ugh.
Here I am.
I could like concussive palm his Ezreal too. Like just preemptively concussive. It's not really winning me the game yet. Surprised he didn't play Shellfolk with that. I think that means like second mini morph is likely possibility. I'm not even beating second mini morph right now. I think I might just lose the second mini if he has it. Like Saiyan doesn't really do anything. Because even if he has mini and I draw into twin, I have to get through Ezreal.
Is it fear that stills your mind?
Something. It's a good sign. I've tapped out of everything else this turn. Now I'm forced just like concussive palm. And then I'm completely tapped out this turn. That feels really bad. Oh, what's that? I probably wasn't supposed to deny that. Goes to show, just deny not being that good right now. I'm so close. I just can't get there. I think this is the only winning line. If he has anything to kill any of my units, I just straight up lose. So we know his trinket trade card, unless he got... it's such a losing line. I don't really see a better one though. It's like another Ezreal. So Minimorph, Mystic, Fume, anything. Second mini kind. Yeah, we're just dead next turn. Not really anything we can do anymore. Unfortunately. It's definitely like a not great matchup for us. I'm not sure if we could have made it any better though. Because we want to take 5 here and we can't prevent it. Maybe we could like play pod at some point in time. Okay, maybe we're not dead, you know? Maybe we're still alive. We have double deny here. Maybe he doesn't have any more burst. Like, we're so close. We're actually just so close. We'll hold up denies for the rest of the game. Oh my god, what? Uh-oh. Monka S, Monka S, Monka S, Monka S, Monka S. No more, no more, no more. Ah, fuck. Ah, he always has it. Alright. Yeah, tough matchup. Couldn't really interact with this stuff. Did our best to stall the game, but couldn't really push through at the very end, unfortunately. Losing like that one droplet was just really unfortunate. Beast Llama, wow. Woo. He's doing pretty well for playing Zilean Ekko. What a champ, man. This guy's such a champ. Gotta release the LP back in the wallet every now and then, yeah. Everyone the Scathis file. I'm sure Beast Llama was playing this too. I don't know if Scathis, whatever you want to call it, was the... I'm pretty sure Beast Llama was playing this before. Maybe they both are just crazy. I wish I knew what his deck list was. I just want to find Droplet Ahri, right? None of these cards look particularly enticing. Nothing really I want to retreat. I could return like Shadow Assassin, that's like kind of fine. But Droplet Ahri, nice. I'm thinking there's like Mystic Shots and stuff, which doesn't make me want to play Droplet into it. Ancient Prep? What? Wait. What? I mean, he wants to play Zilean too. If he shoots this, he could shoot on too. I don't know if he would just like straight up Mystic Shot this. I'll push my 1 damage where I can get it. So next turn we'll pass, float the 2 mana, and then next turn we can go Ahri to like twin. Do you want to play Zilean? Do you want to play Zilean? Zilean would go here, right? Or it could go here. It goes here, so it goes here, right? Fallen Feline. This is a Thermo Beam deck, right? Oh, perfect.
Hey, don't worry. We'll fix you right up.
I don't really have blocks. I could, like, damage Ahri. So you can't kill Ahri through, like, a twin next turn. So maybe this is, like, a perfectly fine block. It would just mean I have to commit twin. Hi, new player and LR question: if Ahri unit, would you slam me on turn 1? Yes, I would. Only if you have good stats for the cost. You have to have good stats for the cost, though.
Too slow.
Crapped under Twin. I don't need to save this droplet. I'm still worried about like a 1 mana Thermo, but it looks like he just doesn't have it. I can still like play Return if he tries to go for it, like hypothetically. 1 mana 1/4 for the big. Oh, push fee. Hoko beats Ekko.
Think you're fast enough?
This deck does beat us down, right? Taking these trades not bad. I have a second droplet, I have third droplet from the Kinku. Okay. I have the way to kill the 2/2, no real need to commit into it. We're ahead. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, I totally missed the questions. In your opinion, what is the best deck strategies for me to push from Diamond 2 to Master safely? I did it myself with the Drizzot's TF Nami. I think overall Shellfolk decks right now are just really strong. Just because they beat up Lee Sin and Kennen Ahri. If you're facing a lot of those, I think that's like a pretty good deck right now. Other than that, you could play like... I feel like Vandal Tree does fine, or like, even like if you just want like to play Plunder or something like that. All those decks are all pretty good right now. So like if you want any Shellfolk deck, realistically, and like Pantheon, I'm sure is like doing very well right now as well. There's a lot of decks right now doing well. Mono Pantheon, yeah, that deck's like actually like doing well for itself.
First step's the hardest.
Cannon's 3, slightly off. So this is 4, this is 5, right? Great Advice TY? Yeah, of course. How does this deck beat us?
The forest surrounds us. Night falls.
Scrying Sands. Nani? I'm kind of confused why you put the 1 health unit up. Just because Twin will give Ahri 1. Play my deck. You got it, Sleepy Panda. So he should have like he should have put this 2/3 in front, right? Because like unless he has another Scrying Sand, he could easily have. Wait, am I dumb? No. What? Oh, I'm dumb. Never mind. Forget it. I said something stupid. I was for some reason thinking Ahri had negative attack there, and I was like, oh yeah, this will put it up to 1. Ekko. Ekko's leveled, okay. Ranked or no balls? I mean, I'm chilling. I'm not like climbing or anything. I just happen to be winning right now, and it sucks to tank a little bit LP, but whatever must be done has to be done. So this is an interesting play. I'm going to mark the Ekko here because I want to homecoming Kennen, replay Kennen, and then have the ability to be able to stun Ekko. I can also like retreat, return, block it. Ooh, that's a juicy one. So I can definitely Hoko that. And I'm feeling pretty safe here. Feel free to change around a few attack cards. Yeah, sure. I want to talk about this turn. I think he's setting this up for like a rally, right? If he has rally, this is kind of scary. He can't absolve me at this moment, so I'm not worried about my health total. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bounce this way, and what this does is this allows us to replay Kennen. So even if he rallies, I get a stun Ekko at the very least, and then now I can pick off some pretty okay blocks. I have another one. I think I'm fine ditching this droplet. Although I'm not sure how many droplets I have left. And then if he tries to Mystic Shot this, I can just twin, right? I didn't even have to recall this, but looks okay. Oh, he plays in case he rallied, right? Ah, that's kind of silly. Well, that's not true. I guess he just doesn't have rally. So this levels up Kennen. And then ideally we can flip Ahri this turn as well.
Some will ascend, all will become legends.
Ultimate
Hello, Mr. Go Hard Gamer. Hey, Damfin, what's up? Do you have a deny yet? No deny. I just want to level up Ahri here. We'll just go for 2-prong lethal. Because he's forced to respond to this in some capacity. Alright, but I'm still a little bit skeptical about Go Hard being the best splash. Like, I feel like the deck concept is strong. I've just very rarely thought that Go Hard is actually that good in this one. I think they're just better splashes, but maybe I'm just not haven't played the deck enough.